the normal show, but today we're at a different location, coming at you with a different angle. I'm going to give it a minute, let a few people come in, and I'll tell you what's actually happening today. We're here in Brooklyn, New York. Yes, indeed. It's very rare that I go live from Brooklyn, but today I'm covering the NBA, the big saga that's happening with it. Chauncey Billups, as many of you are discussing, this is the new hot topic. He will be here at the Federal Brooklyn Courthouse here. As you can see behind me, I'll give you guys a peek. This is the Federal Courthouse in Brooklyn where Chauncey Billups, and already for the last 2 days, some of his co-conspirators, you have seen them come here to face the music. We're not sure what happened, but it seems that most of the individuals are actually here. I think Chauncey actually turned himself in yesterday in Portland, but for the most part, the co-conspirators are here out of New York. As you can recall from yesterday, we discussed, according to the article, and I will say allegedly, a lot of the individuals that are involved in this particular case involve high-ranking mafia. So what was really happening, and why would a man making so much money with a great career in the NBA get caught up in this? Perhaps he's innocent, but usually when the federal agents come after you, they have a lot to say and they have a lot of facts. They do not come after you with just petty gossip. We saw that with Sean Diddy Combs' case. The feds, when they came after him, they had all of their ducks in a row. Now, ultimately, in his case, we saw a big difference because as I attended this trial every day with Sean Diddy Combs, which we're going to talk about him a little bit today too, but for the most part, with Sean Diddy Combs, the jury did not buy that he had a RICO case. In fact, in this particular case, and again, for those of you that are just coming in, I'm here in Brooklyn at the Federal Courthouse building where various members of this co-conspirator group with Chauncey Billups, they're actually reporting here. So the next court date for Chauncey Billups is November the 24th. We're going to be covering it and covering it live for those of you who like to tune in to find out about these court cases. Also, I'm going to be covering a major case down in Texas. You should stay tuned for that. Carmelo Anthony, I will be flying down to Texas. I already have an inside connection to be able to perhaps attend the court from inside to bring you the high-level news, as well as we're anticipating, and we have Luigi Mangione that's going to be coming through as well. I'm expecting one other court date I believe I saw in November that I have to attend. But also in January, we're going to be covering Luigi Mangione. And again, for those of you that are just coming in, I want to give you a little idea. This is Brooklyn, folks. And let me make sure I stabilize this here before we have a problem. Give me 1 second, folks. We're here in Brooklyn, and this is the Federal Courthouse building where Chauncey Billups. I know a lot of guys. I'm putting together a team that's going to cover the guys that really cover sports. They're going to be covering this case along with me, local guys that are equipped to cover the media. Here we go. This is the courthouse here. And this is Brooklyn. This gives you an idea. You see, Brooklyn is a lot different than Manhattan. Right across from the courthouse, you see this federal building. You have a nice park. You have a lot of people with their families enjoying the day. But throughout the day, we've seen various individuals, as well as yesterday, co-conspirators along with Chauncey Billups. They're actually all being hauled into here with, you see some of them coming in with several attorneys. So this is a real serious business. The amount of money it takes to fight a case like this will blow your mind, folks. But this is what happens to anybody that makes, we all make decisions in life and we have to pay the cost for the decisions we make. So folks, I'm going to be covering this case. And again, I gathered all the documentation so far on the case. And on November the 24th, Chauncey Billups will have to be here in this building. I will be here to cover the case as well. Now, getting back to what I was saying, I'm going to be covering Luigi Mangione. He's a young man who, on the streets of New York here, took the life of the CEO of, I think it was United Healthcare, folks. So this is something that's a really humongous case, and everybody wants to know what's going to happen with it. So I definitely will be reporting on that case as well. Already, I've attended a hearing involving this case, and lo and behold, you would be shocked that most of the individuals that are interested in the case, it's young girls around 15, 16, and the couple days before court starts, they're already out here on the street with most of us trying to get a place in the courtroom. Let me look at a few of the comments. I see a lot of people are commenting. Let's see. Bordeaux is in the building. Shout out to you, Bordeaux. We have Eric. All right. Fates Karma is back, folks. I just want to take a moment. Fates Karma lost his wife recently. And I know he's going through a lot trying to deal with that, guys. Please render him some support at this time. He is a strong supporter of this channel. All right. Eric says thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, indeed. I'm glad you're on your lunchtime break. Jeremy says gambling is ruining, all sports. Yes. And this is a major case because the government is actually going after gambling. And as I said yesterday, I had heard rumors that the government is coming after some of the major news outlets, or at least the radio stations that engage in what they call payola. So in other words, you've seen it in the case, I believe, with DJ Envy, where he brought up the guy and they did this whole big seminars and things on real estate. And it turns out that this guy has federal charges, just like this is the federal building. You don't want to have to come here. This is the Eastern District of New York Courthouse, folks. But when they put this young man on the Breakfast Club talking about how you can flip properties, I think the name of his channel was Flipping New Jersey. And so now the rumors are that the government is definitely coming after a lot of the people that have a voice, and they use that voice to grease their own pockets, and with their own pockets being lined, kind of like what the allegations are in this particular case is going through the courthouse here in Brooklyn that I'm covering. Once they start paying you the money, then you'll throw a game. I would not believe, folks, would you believe that the NBA is rigged? I find that hard to believe. What else is rigged? I kind of broke my heart when I saw the fight between Mike Tyson and what's that young guy's name? I'm not a big fan, so I don't recall his name. But anyway, you saw the fight. I kind of felt like Mike Tyson didn't give his all. So this is what the world is coming to. When people are gambling on the back end, they have the potential to sway the party, to sway the fight, and cause people to lose a lot of money. I think in this particular case, it was 7 million loss. I saw that in one news report. Everybody's saying, where are the Epstein files? Well, we're looking for the Epstein files, and we haven't been able to find those Epstein files. Where do you think they are, folks? What's really going on? I do not think we're going to see the Epstein files in this lifetime, because the people that the Epstein files involve, it would be so devastating, folks. Devastating indeed. Okay, we have Sharon here. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you for the great support every day. Yes, indeed. Eric in Bordeaux is holding things down. JDP. All right, number 4 says New York City is cooked. Tell us why. Why is it cooked? We want to know. You're talking about the NBA, or you're talking about something else? I don't think we'll be cooked just based on that. Okay, nothing says you're wearing sneakers too, right? Yes, indeed. I do. Absolutely. P-Man says Jake Paul. Yes, that's the individual that Mike Tyson fought, folks. And Mike Tyson did not fight that. I can go back and show you a video where he held his punch. He could have taken Jake Paul right out. Okay. All right. Hum says, that's crazy. Bring back the 90s. Okay. Nothing to do says, keep looking. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Dirt Doorman says, I feel like you're going to find those files. Yeah. If I find them, you will definitely be the first one to see the files, folks. So, at any rate, usually we cover the news from the studio, but today we're out here in the streets. Tonight, I will be covering a celebrity deal, big deal tonight. Stay tuned. You're really going to like it. I don't want to say which celebrity it's going to be, but we're having a big concert here in New York City. Usually when I state it ahead of time, I tell all my competitors where to go. I'm not going to do that, folks. I'm not going to do it. Work too hard for that, right? So, at any rate, let's move on to something different. A lot of people have come in. Please hit the like button, share, and subscribe. I'm just going to give a summary of what we're doing here. We're here in Brooklyn at the Federal Courthouse, where Chauncey Billups has to appear for his second court date, November the 24th. But most of his 30-plus co-conspirators are coming in and out of the door that's right behind me. And not only that, many of them are coming with their high-power attorneys, folks. So I will be covering this case. We'll probably catch Chauncey as he's entering this building. You're not allowed to bring your cameras into this particular courthouse. In fact, they have a 3 security feature that I haven't seen before in covering cases. The first guy takes your cell phone and any of your Bluetooth, right? And then you go through security. They gather. It's quite amazing. I guess Brooklyn is a tough place to get through, folks. Yes, indeed. I'm going to try to keep up with your comments and again, Eric is the person that really pushed this out first. Thank you, Eric, for being on top of your game. I really do appreciate it so much. JDP is really holding everything steady. She's trying to hold it in the road. She says like, share, and subscribe, and turn on your notifications to be notified of upcoming shows. What a wonderful person she is. Okay, nothing to do says, are you legally in the USA? That's what I'm here for today. I'm trying to find out in this courthouse, am I legal? Thank you. And thank you for your concern. Nothing to do. It's awfully kind of you. Eric says, please like, share the live stream. Thank you. Okay, word of mouth. Pimping ain't easy. Okay, nothing to do. Must be a troll. Okay, we'll highlight you as a troll. You have won the award. Okay, AI Max says, what are the charges? We're going to go through the charges this weekend. I have a law professor that's going to come on, and she's going to break down the charges. It's a lot of charges. In fact, imagine we have to go through 30 different names. That's just the names alone. And then compare the different charges with those 2 indictments. So we'll see what happens with that. But this weekend, also on Sunday, the wind is up. The wind is strong. This Sunday, Calvin Johnson, the defense attorney, we're going to have him break down what would he do with these particular clients and how would he admonish them from a legal standpoint in defending themselves. When I bring on the law professor, Candace Kelly, also on Sunday, she's going to deal with those charges and really break it down for you guys. But here's the thing. It's going to cause most Americans to start, maybe if not already, looking at the NBA quite differently, right? Do you look at it the same? Are you watching the game? Now, my favorite team is the Lakers. NFL, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. So, and obviously baseball. But when you see the games, are these games for real? Like, what's really happening? That's what we want to know. Are they rigged? Are they staged? Luther says, in my small town courthouse, they're just off-duty sheriff that has a propensity to punch people in the stomach. Oh my, where are you at? All right. You're welcome, JDP. Uda on go. Salute to you, Uda. I'm in your neighborhood, following up on the case to see what's coming down the pipeline. AI, you guys check out Uda on go. Has a solid channel. Uda is always doing his thing, bringing the people the news as well. It takes a lot to do this, but we do it and we don't complain, folks. We do not. AI says hello from Sicily, Italy. AI, I was out in Italy back in the summer, and I had a great time. It was quite the time of my life. I will tell you, I did not expect to see some of the things I saw, especially when it came to Rome. And then Venice, I believe you call it, or the local people call it Venice, something like that. Just to go outside and there's only water, there's no land. The only way you can move around out of your front door, you have to get on a boat. I was not prepared to see that, but I enjoyed myself thoroughly. So thank you for tuning in all the way from Italy. I'd say to date, the my favorite place to visit. Although I have many places to go, I'm about to go to Greece, but we'll see. Arnell says Chauncey still arrested. No, he's not arrested. He appeared in court, and the judge let him go. But he does have to appear here in this building. We're here, Brooklyn, New York, at the Federal Courthouse. He will have to be here November the 24th. And hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I'm going to be covering it live each day. So this is another case that I'm adding to the roster. We have Chauncey and all of his co-conspirators. It's going to take a lot to cover this case, but we're going to cover it. We're also going to cover Carmelo Anthony, not the basketball player, but the young man down in Texas. Actually, he's right there, Calvin Johnson, that's often on this channel. This happened pretty much within his driving range in his state. And the young man was at school, and it was raining. They were playing sports. He ran into the other team's tent and got into an altercation with a young man that he eventually stabbed in the heart. And so we'll have to cover that trial. That trial has a lot of people upset because of the race issue. It's a big divider, and you'll see as that trial develops, you're going to see a lot of Americans really taking their stance even more so. And we're already in a climate where people are not getting along. So I'm going to be down in Texas for the duration of that trial. And again, Luigi Mangione's case is coming up. I definitely will be covering that as well. So thank you guys so much for all the support, all the likes, share, and subscriptions. It goes quite far in this type of environment. Okay, nothing to do. Okay, and get rid of the fitted. I won't do it. I will not do it. Everybody, please, nothing to do is a troll of a year. Want some attention, please give him some attention. O'Neill says, what's going on, my guy? O'Neill, we're here in Brooklyn, New York. What's up? We're here at the courthouse where Chauncey Billups and his co-conspirators will have to face the heat. Chauncey, I believe, is out in Portland still. He has to be here November the 24th, but his co-conspirators have been in and out of this building for the last 2 days. Okay, Luther says you can highlight as a troll. Okay, all right. Eric said Brooklyn Federal Court is where John Gotti went to court when he was found guilty. Okay, Eric, thank you for that background. You know who else was here at this court? Was R. Kelly. R. Kelly, he was tried and also sentenced here in the court behind me. This is Brooklyn, unlike where Sean Diddy Combs was. Okay. AI says, I got my notifications on. Thank you. That's true support. That's true. Okay, Humble Traders, a 76ers fan. Okay, all right. Are your 76ers, are they true to the game, or is it rigged for them too? Well, we don't know. But we're going to find out a lot about this. AI Max says the whole thing is rigged. Yes, indeed. All right. Udo on Go says, okay, Udo says, thanks for the update. Yes, indeed. Glad to do it. Swamp says, Trump. Okay, we have a Trump supporter in the building. A lot of Trump supporters that come through on the channel. We appreciate everybody. Thank you for the support. AI brought to you by FanDuel. Sharon says, I'm looking at the NBA differently now and love the money. The love of money is the root of all evil. Okay, she's quoting a Bible scripture. Okay, Udo on Go says, please everyone drop a like now. And Mel, do a poll and it will bring more people. Okay, I'll definitely do that. AI is talking about FanDuel. Are they involved? Possibly. It might be tied into the tentacles of FanDuel. We don't know. AI says Greece is great. Check out. Okay, I definitely will. Okay, AI also says Carmelo is a stone cold killer who brings a knife to attract meat. Nothing racial about it. Yes, that may be true, but watch how the tides turn. People are going to divide over this. They have already started that. People always find a way to be divided. Okay, Vanilla Millie says Carmelo was not there playing sports. Okay, all right. That's not what I've been seeing, but I would take a second look at that to see if that's the case. Okay. All right. Humble Trader says, I don't see how race got involved. Yeah, race always gets involved. It does. Okay. All right. We still have the trolling on. Okay. All right. Uda says, likes up. Y'all, I'm not a mod. I'm a content creator, so I understand that what likes mean. Okay. Thank you, Uda. Uda covers Sean Diddy's case with me. We were at the courthouse every day. That's how we got to know each other quite well. All right. AI Max says always wanted to check out Brooklyn. Brooklyn's an amazing place. Today is windy and cold. I will say that. I think Uda is out here. This is his stomping ground. Boiling Frog says New York is a crap hole. Okay. All right. That's your expression. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much. We got a boo from Pamela for being a Yankee fan. Okay. I understand that. So at any rate, let's get back to, we have so many comments. Oh, somebody says Jesus saves. Okay, we have some Jesus supporters definitely here. They recognize Jesus. Okay. Vanilla Miller says Carmelo was supposed to be at his own school that day. He went there looking for trouble. Okay. All right. Now, not to get too deeply into that case, I did see where some are saying that the family received, $500,000 for that particular legal expenses for Carmelo Anthony. And then they turned around and allegedly used I think legal aid of some sort, not sure, a public defender. I don't know the total logistics, but if that's the case, things like that get people riled up, you know what I mean? So that's one of the talking points that's going around already, okay? All right, Anthony says, fun facts, sports are created to keep the public's attention away from what matters. Are you not entertained? Very true. When I went to Italy, that's one of the things that came out is that whenever the people were angry or going through a tough situation, kind of like what we're going through now in the United States, a lot of people don't have two dimes to rub together. So the powers that be in Rome would make sure that they put on a big show to get the people distracted from what's really happening, and I think that's happening here on a grand scale. So let's take a break from my talk. We're here in Brooklyn at the Federal Building here. This is the courthouse where R. Kelly took his hit. John Gotti, Chauncey Billups, and 30 plus co-conspirators. And this give you a little idea of Brooklyn. It's not as compact as Manhattan is, but you can see people out here in the park enjoying their day, right? Over at the other federal building, they have a park right across the street too. So it seems to be a common denominator between these two buildings as well. I just want to take a moment. Thank you guys for all the support. We've been getting enormous amounts of views, averaging like 1 million a week. That's amazing to me, and I know it's all possible because of you guys. Let's see. Rahit says, I will send more jars of my curry soon. Your last order has been running dry. Okay, we have a curry pusher in the building. He's pushing that curry. All right, Benel says, appreciate you reading the comments. Definitely, definitely my pleasure. Oh, okay, do a flip. Let's see. Okay, very good. Here we go. All right, so this is Brooklyn. I'm going to end this thing out and give you guys some sort of tour as I head back up out of here. So you'll get a chance to, in a few minutes, get a chance to see what Brooklyn looks like because I always show Manhattan. I don't come to Brooklyn much, but I do come down to the Barclays, so we'll see. That's the new hot spot. Everybody, a lot of guys can't wait to go watch a game, so a lot of people are going to be pinned to this case. When I actually heard about the case yesterday from Eric, one of our reporters, right? I was like, man, I wish this case would be in New York. And lo and behold, it is. So it gives us a good case to follow and hear the details, all right, to see what's really going to happen. Okay, a lot of new names here today. Thank you guys. Yesterday we had a whole new format, so we're pushing through to figure this out. Good question, AI Mac. How many refs were involved? We don't know. We're not sure, but I'm pretty sure that we're just reaching the surface of the iceberg here. I'm pretty sure you're going to find out a whole lot more. And from what I heard today in reports, it's going to involve other sports as well. And I'm pretty sure we're going to get a chance to find out maybe your team that you like so much, perhaps they have team members. I saw yesterday they pulled in LeBron James. So even though not like a direct hit, it does affect him in some way. So we've always heard about people faking injuries, especially when your team loses. You kind of feel like, oh, yeah, they threw the game, right? Lo and behold, there's some truth to that. That's been happening for real, folks. And I can't wait to find out. Eric says, Mel, find out why Brooklyn Federal Court has the case and not Manhattan Federal Court. Okay, good question. I think it's because of yeah, that's a good question. I'm going to find out. I'll ask for you and get back to you. Yeah, Cal, LeBron James, they tried to pull his name in. It's on the outskirts. Check it out. If I was in the studio, I would pull up the article, but I'm out here in these cold streets of Brooklyn right now. All right. Okay. Okay, let's see. All right. Vanilla Millie says, look at it like this. You have a family picnic and some guy wanders in where all the personal belongings were. Would you tell him to leave? Same thing as him asking him to leave the tent. Okay. All right. Good point. You're talking about the Carmelo Anthony case where they said he was trying to take refuge from the rain. And he went in and basically those guys told him to get out of there. And they got into a scuffle of some sort, which led to him taking the life of the other young man, And the reason why it's really going to stand out in a racial way is because the unaliver was black and the unalived was white, and people are already capitalizing on that as well. Okay. Chris says, wondering about NFL 2 very suspicious plays this year and last. I think the NFL has it real heavy. Now you have to go back and question everything in life because who knows what's really happening, right? Kyle says, don't worry. I'm in Queens feeling the same, whether you're feeling LOL. All right, shout out to you from Queens. Man, Jamaica Avenue, I'm so sad about Jamaica Avenue. Is really taking a hit. I remember those Jamaica Avenue days out in Queens to go shopping. And now you really can't do that. AI says they're just throwing LeBron in for publicity. He doesn't have F you money. He has F me money. Okay. All right. Very good. Debbie's in the building. Welcome back. I've been saying for years, sports is crooked. We're starting to find out a lot of things are crooked in life, folks. We're starting to find out just how bad it is, even with the government. Now, the thing about it, Kash Patel said that this investigation was going on for several years. So, did this start under Biden? That's what I wanted to know. I didn't have time to really dig into it as I had to commute here about 2 hours. It's not easy to get here, folks, but we do it to try to get you some solid information. And one thing that they told me already, that the co-conspirators are showing up with multiple high-rolling attorneys. So that gives you an idea. They realize how serious of a matter this is, right? Ben just says, laugh my ass off. America is young, and y'all just figuring it out. Sports been rigged. Freak around and find out was rigged years and years ago. Wake up, America. Y'all are babies. Okay. Well, I think sometimes people like to give you the benefit of the doubt, right? Well, that doesn't pay, right? So you make a good point. In fact, AI Max says you were right. It's all just disappointing. Okay. All right. Okay. So we'll see what's going to develop here. Now, did you guys see yesterday I covered for lunch Donald Trump wants $230 million from the Department of Justice, right? That's what he feels he's owed in some way. Now he's taking this approach like, well, if they give me the 230, he's trying to take a laid back approach on it. But would you ever imagine, would you believe that the President of the United States, who runs the Department of Justice, pretty much what we see, is going to receive perhaps even money from them? And if it's 230 million, that's a lot of money, folks. Like, what's really going on? Do you know, right? Bluegill says, is Johnny Cochran there with LeBron? Oh, good one, good one. Johnny Cochran is far removed from us. He was probably one of the best to ever do it. So, what do you think about Donald Trump in that particular situation? Do you think that that's a legitimate situation? Every day you guys keep asking about the Epstein files. Do you have any interest in the fact of the 230 million? Now, he did say that if he received the money, he would be okay, or he would want perhaps to extend those funds toward the building of the ballroom, right? Or give it to some charity. Is that what you guys think should happen? Like, what is really happening with the President of the United States? Everybody thought that the Epstein files would be the undoing of Donald Trump, but it seems like each week we have a new big headline that takes away from the subject matter. Epstein was hard pressed at one moment. That's all everybody was talking about. But now we see a difference. We just see a few articles here and there, but it's not as hard pressed as it used to be. But Nilly-Milly says the government has paid billions to people they have wrongly accused. He will donate those funds or reinvest. Okay. All right. AI says if the FBI had something on Trump with Epstein, they would leak it years ago. Okay. Marlene says ask Clinton about Epstein. Okay. All right. He possibly would know. Definitely, I think there's an association between them. Bradley says Trump is the best president I've ever seen in 52 years. Okay, guys. So I'm going to give you a little bit of insight here. I'm going to let you guys see what's going on. Then we're going to take a tour on my way out of Brooklyn back into Manhattan. There's supposed to be a protest today after 5 o'clock, so that'll be my next point of interest. If there is a protest, I'm definitely going to cover it, and I'll show you guys what's happening. Now, I will tell you, what was this guy's name? His name is something Shirley or something like that. But anyway, I saw him get attacked. He was doing similar to what I'm doing, but he's a Trump supporter, 100%. I even saw a video of him recently in the White House talking to Donald Trump about Antifa, telling him just how bad it is. And so he was basically out there trolling the other night, and he had about 40,000 people on his stream. But, he has a big following, maybe almost 1 million subscribers, a lot of support. But they feel like he trolls the Democrats or the left. And so he had two people try to go upside his head. Like, is it really worth it? I think at that level, you should have some serious security around you. But anyway, who knows, right? Yeah, that's it. His name is Nick. Okay, yeah. Marlene has it. His name is Nick. I saw him get really roughed up the other day. The guys who roughed him up were arrested. So, but, those guys did not come at him aggressively. But some people, they come after you, and you may not have another chance at life, right? So you have to be smart about it. So when I go into these environments, I'm going to move a little bit differently. Okay, Bradley says, if the Epstein files could have hurt Trump, the Biden administration would have absolutely used it, and they did nothing with it at all. Okay. You never know. You don't know who's in these files, but it's hard to find out the real truth, right? I don't think we'll ever get it. Jeffrey says Trump 2028. Okay, Ashbar says, was you ever on the island? Okay. Mark says it's the media faking most of the news. Okay, all right. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for all the support. It's tremendous, guys. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe. We're here in Brooklyn at the Federal Courthouse where Chauncey Billups, along with 30 plus co-conspirators, are feeling the heat right now. You guys know what happened. We covered it yesterday, but we'll have to see how things develop and if they really take a hit. Many people thought Sean Diddy Combs was going to be losing his assets and going to jail for a long time. It's quite possible that he could come home today, according to what's in the media. They're saying Donald Trump might pardon him or commute his sentence. That's yet to be seen. But what do you guys think? We have a lot of people in the audience. Do you think Sean Diddy Combs should come home because of his celebrity status, or should he stay in jail and face the heat like your average American? All right. Marlene says, if you need to be refreshed, go watch the Trump and Joe Biden debate. Yeah, that was a tough one. I still don't know to this day why those in Joe Biden's circle would allow him to go up there and perform at that level if they see him every day and they know that he's having some issues, which anybody could have issues, folks. Okay, Bradley says, brother, I wish you the best and hope you get everything you deserve. Hard work pays off. I hope many kids see you working hard. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate the heartfelt message that you have. Karan says, where are you from? I'm from Virginia, but I've been in New York for 30 years. So you might hear a different accent here and there. Vanilla Miller says, Nick Shirley has been doing this for a few years. His mom works with him too. He's a young kid. Yeah, he's a young kid, but I saw him getting roughed up and he wasn't backing down. But in New York, sometimes you don't get a second chance to try to make it right, because these people could have easily snuffed you out, Candyman, welcome in. Morning to you as well. Okay. Cunt says that's a bad issue. Bluegill says the law is easily changed, Debbie. Okay. All right. Oh, somebody says Trump should go to jail in 2028. They want Trump out of here, and they want him out of here now. MS, all right, says, let's see, Sasquatch from Canada says, good morning. Okay, we have a Canadian in the building. Thank you. Nice to have your support. Stick around and grow with us. We cover independent news. We try to do so from a very unbiased basis. All right, guys, so that's going to be it for today. We're going to take a tour now, so I'm going to take off this microphone. And yeah, Yankees, we're struggling these days, you know? We definitely are. Guys, I'm going to hunker down here a bit, and we're going to take a tour through Brooklyn just so you guys can see a little bit of what it's like over here. I don't think you get to see the boots on the ground too often, so thank you guys for all your participation, all the comments. I tried to cover as much as I could. Thank you to everybody that hit the like button. When you share and subscribe, it helps the channel. But stay tuned. Let's see, I'm trying to see some things here. Okay, there we go. Stay tuned for more news as we're back at it Monday with the news at noon. But over the weekend, we have quite a few shows. We're going to cover the NBA. I have some guys coming on. Thank you, Vanilla Millie, for subscribing. Nice to have you here today, and I'm so happy you're going to stick around. Debbie, welcome back, Debbie, and she says thanks for your insight. Glad I could share. But anyway, guys, let's just give me a minute here to pack out, and we're just going to do a light tour around Brooklyn as I head back out of town, back into Manhattan. Stay tuned throughout the day. I'm going to be covering protesting. Tonight I'm going to be covering, you guys will get a up and close view of Music Soul Child. So I don't know if you guys are fans of Music Soul Child, but I was asked to cover that. So, hey, I'm covering it, folks. So thank you so much. And Bordeaux is so happy that Vanilla Millie is participating and subscribed. Thank you so much. And that's it, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for the tour. So, there you have it. We're going to head back out of here, but you guys will get a chance to see what Brooklyn is like. These are all the federal buildings. And again, this is the courthouse, the federal courthouse here in Brooklyn, where Chauncey Billups and his co-conspirators. Chauncey comes here again. He comes in November the 24th. But his co-conspirators have been here yesterday and today for sure. A lot of high-powered attorneys. So we're going to cover it. So as you can see, Brooklyn is not as heavily populated with buildings as much as Manhattan, but it has a good vibe to it. But this is the federal district, financial district too. So a lot of great great minds have come out of Brooklyn. The notorious B.I.G. Definitely. They have a place here called Junior's. I think it's a cheesecake place. Amazing cheesecake. Sometimes it just seems too eggy or something. But I had it the first time I was in person. Have you guys ever had any Junior's before? Alright, so we just left the Federal Courthouse here in Brooklyn. And we're headed back out of here, but we're not too far from the Brooklyn Bridge. Not a bad area, right? Alright, Eric says, come to Kurt. Ella says, from Bahamas, okay. I've yet to go to the Bahamas, but I've been to a lot of those albums. Where are you guys reporting from? Where are you guys located? Tell us where you're from, folks. This is Brooklyn, New York, folks, just to give you an idea of what it looks like. Somebody's blowing a horn. You'll see a lot of that, people playing their instruments to make money. Do whatever you gotta do to feed yourself. Oh, there's a guy there.
People that eat off nobody. Do that.
Yes, sir. Well, he's preaching. He's preaching to the people, right? All right. Oh, here we go. Let's see. This guy's playing away. Let's see what he has here, folks. Thank you. All right. So we're in Brooklyn. Leaving the court district. Heading back into Manhattan, so alright, so this structure here, it says it was welded together. It's pretty cool. Look at that. It's pretty creative, right? This is in Brooklyn, folks. Supreme Court here in Brooklyn. And this is Court Street. Everybody's having their little food carts around. Okay, let's see here. Shout out to you, Clint, Phyllis. Thank you, Sharon. Well, they have cannabis. You're definitely gonna have you some cannabis. And they have Starbucks next door to the cannabis. Get you the highest high. Right? So the tall building, that's the courthouse we were at looking back. That's the courthouse there. November the 24th is when Chauncey will have to come and stand, take the heat. What's going to happen to the team? They got to, I guess they have to find him a new coach ASAP. All right, so we just left the courthouse where Chauncey Billups will have to face the heat. His next court appearance is November the 24th, but a lot of his co-conspirators are in and out of that courthouse today, mostly yesterday, but the heat is on, folks. The heat is on. So this is Brooklyn. Have a little Prime, I call it the little Prime mobile. You can make sure you get your Amazon packages, right? Brooklyn, New York. You can come and get you some fresh fruit, I guess. Not fresh meat. See, I walk right here. Can't have enough cannabis. Have a shop every other. location. I see a lot of those little prime mobile trucks. Well, they would have a Panda Express. It's hard to see them everywhere now. Brooklyn is known for their bagels, and also pizza, so you'll see a lot of bagel shops. Okay. You know, I'm shocked because usually when I come into Brooklyn, I see a lot of the Jewish community, and I haven't seen one yet. It's rather shocking. I had a friend of mine that fell through one of these here. I guess it didn't have the flapping door, but it was late one night, and they were coming back from a bar. Somehow she fell into one of these, messed her up real bad. Right, there's another bar. Like it may have a lot of tequila in there. Okay. Starting to get to the area where you see the brownstones, like the Bill Cosby show. When I used to live in Brooklyn, I could tell you the unit. Now, it's been so long. But they filmed the Cosby Show on a brownstone, very similar. I'll show you guys here. You may have not seen that before. Look at that BMW, not bad. Not bad. So these are brownstones. Easily $2 million nowadays on one of these, you know. So that's the Cosby Show was filmed in one similar to this, but closer to the Brooklyn Bridge. I think I want to try some food in Harlem today, since I have some free time today. And there's Atlantic Avenue. That's like the main road that goes through here. Whenever I drive, you know, I use Atlantic Avenue as my guide. You know, before I had all the GPS, I could pretty much figure my way around. Back in the day, remember we only had MapQuest. covered news today from Brooklyn and from the courthouse where Chauncey Billups has to face the music for gambling allegations and all sorts of charges. So let's see here. This is the main street right here. When you drive, this will get you right to the Brooklyn Bridge when you're going down. Oh wow, look at it. You see, I can show you where I used to live years ago. This tall building with the green top. That's down there. That's 90 Sands. That's where I used to stay years ago. I have no desire to live in the city again. No more elevators. So let's take a little tour this way. Let's see, Court Street. I don't know how they have shorts on today. Lord mercy. You know what? Now I'm thinking my friend that fell into one of these here. Right here. She could have been walking at night, not paying attention, and just fell right over that too. So maybe that's what happened. I don't know. That's a rude awakening.
Takes them very, very long.
So we're on Atlantic Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. So let's give you guys an idea of what it's like. Much different than Manhattan, definitely. Clinton Avenue, and I believe if you go forward this way, you'll run into Queens. Yep. And this way takes you to Manhattan. So if you're driving, it's not a straight shot, but that's the direction of it. All right. Kane, shout out to you. Kane won the $30 the other day. Shout out to you. I believe it was $30. This is New York City, but we're in Brooklyn. All sorts of kinds of great food here. And I came down to cover the Chauncey Billups case that came out yesterday. I think it was yesterday.
Oh, he did. Oh,
A lot of people, right? Antioch Church.
I'm not doing that with you. Let you know that right now.
Imagine what the fire department have to go through to put things out around here. Much different than probably what you're used to. Wow, Malaysia in the building. That's awesome. So it says it looks like Chicago. Brooklyn looks like Chicago.
If I take that bus after I drop you off.
Tequila.
That's it.
Another bar over there. The wall is lined with tequila. You want some brain food?
What's it called?
Well, if you need a grill, you can buy a grill. Brooklyn, New York, folks.
It don't matter. Like, I was gonna go this way, but we could just
That's because he don't listen. He responds. That's all the message.
let me get in there. Let me get in there.
Sorry, man.
Champagne, right? We're downtown, you heard?
Yes, sir.
Where it's going? Where it's going?
Watching the World on YouTube.
Oh, YouTube?
Yep.
Alright, subscribe.
Yeah, thank you,
Be
man.
safe.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yep. Plenty of CBD, folks. Alright, so I'm about to go into the subway. I might lose you guys, so stay tuned for more interesting things today. Look at the double bus. You guys see the double bus?
First of all, I
Right now, the fare for the subway in New York City is $2.90 each way. So I think it was like $1.25 when I first moved here, but that was almost 30 years ago.
Well, fantastic. Let's follow Miss Eagle. Sorry, no.
Alright, so to go to Manhattan, you have to take the 4 or the 5 train. If you want to go further into Brooklyn toward Queens, you go that way. This 4 or 5 train, if you come into New York, you come into Grand Central Station. You can take the 4 or 5 train right to the Barclays. So just 2 trains, that's it, boom. Whichever train you use to come into New York, and then that 1 4 or 5 train from Grand Central to Barclays. So it's the best way to travel there, for sure. And you see here, it tells you where you have to go. You want to go to Manhattan or the Bronx, take the 4 or 5 train. And this is the express, so you'll be at Grand Central in no time. Way better than driving, trying to deal with traffic all day long, frustrated. Not knowing what time you're gonna get at a place, you know, arrive. You just wait for your train and that's it. $2.90 each way. Usually the buses, which I never really take the bus, but people don't even pay for the bus. They just get on and ride. They're supposed to pay the fare, but they don't really enforce it since COVID. So most New Yorkers are used to a free ride unless you get a bus driver that's really, he wants to play Mr. Cop, but he's different. Okay, let's see.
There is a Manhattan Express 4 train to
train is coming. I'm going to lose you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in today. I will be definitely going live tonight from the show. Oh, that's not my train, okay. I'll be covering the show. That'll be late tonight, though. And any protesting that kick off, which I would imagine today, Friday, protesting mixed with alcohol, you can't really beat it, you know? All right, King, be safe out there. Hope your therapy goes well. All right. Yes, New York City. Okay, Logan says he's behind me. Okay, cool. JDP says like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys for taking the time to do so. And for those of you who tuned in for the news at today. Thank you to all the moderators too. Bordeaux, JDP, Eric, Deborah, everybody that tuned in today. Sharon tuned in today. Thank you. A lot of people tuned in from different countries. Shout out to Udo on Go. Thanks for the support. It's definitely burning up down here, but up outside it's freezing, so this is how you get sick around here, you know. All right, here we go. We have a train. Let's see. Nope, not even. Man.
Express
Yes, you can exercise in there.
Approaching the station, please stand away from the
Subway system. First time I've seen it. Shout out to you, Starboy. Okay. All right, here we go. Finally. We finally have a way out of here. We're going with the number 5, folks.
Transferring here with follow order, ticket B 41 bus.